Pakistan's newly elected prime minister announced the country would no longer permit U.S. drone strikes on his country's soil during his first speech last week. Quote, "This daily routine of drone attacks, this chapter shall now be closed. This campaign should come to an end," end quote. The U.S. response to this speech was a drone strike. After calling the U.S. envoy after the drone strike, Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs released the following statement. Quote, "It was conveyed to the U.S. charged affairs that the government of Pakistan strongly condemns the drone strikes, which are a violation of Pakistan's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The importance of bringing an immediate end to drone strikes was emphasized," end quote. I like that. It's kind of like we called his mother.
Yeah.
And we told him that he did it again and that this really, it needs to stop. Do we not know?
This drone thing is so vitally important to our country, in the fact that every drone strike we commit creates more blowback against us. Mm-hmm. Every family that we kill, every block that we blow up trying to get some unnamed terrorist or some guy suspected of, peeing on the flag overseas, which is a bad thing. I don't think we need to shoot him with a fucking drone.
Well, it's not our country.
All that does is create more terrorists who want to hurt us. And you know what? I think it's by design. I think that they do go to these neighborhoods and blow the shit out of them because they want more terrorists. Why? Because by creating more terrorists, it justifies more actions like the NSA spying on us.
Well, it opens the door.
The more threat they can create, the more that they can, enact their, Orwellian and Kafkaesque policies against the good, normal, average citizens who eventually, hopefully, will stand up to this.
Mm-hmm. Which is this thing, is now we have... well, let's go to Mike Mazzetti, because I think he had a really good quote about this just before we go in. I just want to make talking about that the
CIA, basically Mike had come out with a great book, by the way, you should check it out, The CIA Secret Army and the War at the Ends of the Earth. His quote was, "The CIA has since conducted hundreds of drone strikes in Pakistan and have killed thousands of people, Pakistanis and Arabs and militants and civilians alike." Again, he puts it out there that it's not just bad guys they're hitting, if they're even really bad guys. It's everybody in a neighborhood is getting affected by this. And this goes even back to 2004 when the Central Intelligence Agency struck a deal with Pakistani officials. This is what allowed this whole mess in Pakistan to occur. We said, look, we really want to go after people with drones. Pakistan said, well, maybe if you kill this guy over here for us, we'll let you do it. So we went in and nailed this guy, Nakh Mohammed, in exchange for the opportunities to carry out drone strikes on their soil. The agency then, basically it's assassinated one person to get air spies to assassinate others. It's an ugly, ugly thing. And the people that get caught up in the middle of it are the true victims of all this.
Right. It's sort of, they open the door. And we were, when you talk about like this, they do it on purpose. This is the logical conclusion why you would do this. Otherwise, there's no reason, because what's happening and who's actually being killed and the effect it's having on the ground in Pakistan is not in the least bit productive, even from a military sense, unless the point is to cause more disturbance in an area of the world where there's lots of disturbance, and we're just sort of going around from country to country and going around and riling things up and rallying things up. And then when something like Syria happens, we can jump in the door. Because we have this big, look at how bad it is. I mean, we got to do drone strikes like every day over there to keep those people in line. Look, you want us to come help you? You want us to come there? It's great. There's the door open. And we all it all happens so quickly. One of the things that people and Americans have to understand about drone strikes in a place like Pakistan is that these people are not sitting in front of an iPad. They're not sitting in front of their cable news and seeing what America is. These are people who live in incredibly remote, most of them remote areas that are so bombed in a country that their infrastructure is terrifying at this point that you would think that they'd be connected. So these are people who don't even know. What they know is very limited. And I just want to share a little clip from a documentary group you can look at. It's called livingunderdrones.org. And I want to show a little clip of what really is going on there. And
one of the things we heard from several people is that they didn't